You're between the ages of 12 to 18 and you want to bulk up, gain a little bit of weight, a little bit of muscle, and you want to do it in the healthiest way possible. I say ages 12 to 18, but really this advice applies to everyone. This is specifically for people who have a hard time eating enough. It does not have to be expensive. Let's do it in the cheapest way possible. The first thing we're going to do is pick a calorie range. It's going to be different for everyone, so go online, use a calorie calculator, find a rough estimate of your maintenance, and increase this by 200 calories or so and start there. If you're an active guy playing sports every day after school and maybe lifting a few days a week, you may need upwards of 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day. And for a girl doing the same things, maybe somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000 calories or more. Bottom line is, you're gonna have to pick a calorie range and you're gonna have to go through some trial and error. Now that you picked a calorie goal, stick to that for 4 weeks or so, and then you'll be able to determine if you need to raise your calories a bit more if you're not gaining, or maybe decrease them a little bit if you're gaining too fast. We want to gain as slowly as possible. If you're consistently gaining 1 to 2 pounds a week, unless you are already extremely underweight, you are going to gain a lot of fat, and ultimately you're eventually going to have to diet to get that fat off. When you initially start doing this in the first week, you are going to see a jump in the scale weight from eating more. Don't freak out. It's water weight and it will level out once you eat at this calorie range for a bit of time. After it levels out, aim to gain around 0.25 to 0.5 pounds a week. That's around a 125 to 250 calorie surplus. For teens specifically, take progress pictures every single week in the morning before you eat or drink anything in the same lighting, so that way we make sure all the variables are the same. You're gonna be going through puberty and you're gonna be gaining weight just from that. If you have a hard time eating enough, we wanna focus on a higher fat diet while also still staying in the healthier range. This is because fats are 9 calories per gram and carbs and protein are 4 calories per gram. So essentially you can eat less food for more calories. So I want you to try and get around 35% of your total caloric intake from fats. 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight, and then just fill in the rest with carbs. Let's do an example with a 3,000 calorie diet for a 150 pound teenager. If we go by what I just gave you, that means you can have around 105 grams of protein, get near 116 grams of fat, and then that leaves 384 grams of carbs. If you eat more protein and less fats, obviously that is perfectly fine, but this is gonna make it as easy as possible if you have a small appetite. I recommend trying as hard as you can to prioritize nutrient-dense whole foods, but if you have 1,000 calories left and you need to stop at McDonald's to hit your calorie goal, that is perfectly fine. So maybe for breakfast you have eggs, oatmeal, granola, and honey. And then for lunch you have 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Then dinner comes around and you are so full and you need to stop at McDonald's to hit that last 700 calories. Cool. 1 Big Mac and now you hit your calories for the day. If you struggle with eating more, think about it like you're going to the gym. If your goal is 3,000 calories, start at 2,500 and then 2 weeks later up it to 2,600, then 2 weeks later 2,700, etc. Another way you could go about it is to eat more on some days and then go to maintenance on the others, so that way you're still consistently gaining and you're never in a deficit. One last thing, just because you are eating more does not mean you are Superman and you can work out 7 days a week. You still need to recover. Personally, I'd really only recommend going to the gym 2 to 5 days a week. And if you're a beginner, you can make amazing progress just off 2 days a week. So don't stress yourself out. And maybe on your off days, if you're bored and you still want to do something active, do light cardio, go for walks, go for a slow bike ride. I love you. I hope this helps. Follow for more.